Yo, what's going on, world? This your boy Naji from Cigar Talk, and today I got a very special guest, man. Y'all already know this been one of my favorites. I'm here in Philly, my man, Denny Swift.
What's up, bro? Nice
How you doing, man?
Good.
It's a dope episode. My fan, I got a lot of people who watch this show. They know I've been jacking you for a minute, so they hype up for this
Appreciate
show, man.
it, for sure.
I think one of the things that made me a fan of you, I feel like throughout your career, you've been the underdog. There's a lot of fights that you had where it was like we wasn't sure, and you always figure out a way to get it done.
Yeah, that's just the mindset of mine. Like, I never really go off like that because I know like the writers and people don't know what I'm built. They don't know what I do in the gym. Yeah. They don't know the work I'm putting in. So I never really looked at myself as the underdog. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people were surprised when I win. Like, damn, he's the underdog. He won. Yeah. That was never my mindset though.
Right.
My mindset was like, I'm better than him. I ain't worried about what other people think, and that's kind of how I've always been my whole career.
Do you feel like that now? Like you in a position, you know, Lara, you moving up, you know, you got the catch rate, you're still moving up. Lara's a good fighter.
Definitely.
Do you feel like that now, that they still putting the underdog shit on you still, or no?
Definitely, I mean, there's some questions out there, you feel me? Like, I've been in the ring in 2 years, I'm going up in weight, so obviously people have some questions about the fight, about me, but I've been putting in the work. You know, I've been sparring bigger guys. And I've been training for 6 weeks already.
Right.
And if the fight was tomorrow, I'll be ready. So
yeah. How you feel just with the weight, right? Like you're moving up in weight. It's been off for a minute. Do you feel like the weight presents a different type of challenge, or is it kind of the same feel?
It feels good because I was focused on building my weight into muscle.
Yeah.
Just like the first camp where I had to eat. Like my mind is like I'm only a couple weeks away from the fight, and usually my mind tells me don't eat because you gotta lose weight. Right. Don't eat because you gotta lose weight. So I catch myself like kind of starving myself a little bit, and then I'm like, and then I check my weight.
Really,
I'm like, oh shit, I gotta eat. So I go eat. So that's the only thing different is like I can really eat, and I can just focus on boxing.
What you be eating? Like what's on the?
Man, I eat everything.
Like healthy, or you just eat regular like?
No, I eat. I'm saying I don't drink. I stopped drinking soda. Like when I train, I stopped drinking soda. Yeah. I drink my amino acids, my juices. Like a lot of chicken, a lot of vegetables, a lot of like protein, just to build me up. Yeah,
for sure. One of the things, we got your pops, man. Salute to Angel over here. You know, I feel like y'all to me was one of the first father-son duos where the pops was like loud. He in the camera, he gonna talk shit, he gonna say what he gotta say, and you start to see that a lot now, right? Like,
yeah, definitely. My pop was definitely. I would say he opened up the doors for a lot of trainers to do it. You know, T.O.'s dad does it.
Right.
Bill Haney does it. Yeah. A lot of people, I mean, that's what you're supposed to do for your son, though. If you really believe in him, you go all out. You know, I know some parents ain't really outgoing like that, but I would say Pops was definitely the guinea pig for those guys. Because at one point, they took the microphone away from Pops. Like, they didn't even let him speak at the press conference no more because they already knew he was coming with some...
So crazy. You go crazy. For sure. Was it, for you, was it ever points where you was like, you know, because I don't know, but it seemed like you're not as outspoken as him, right? Was there ever points where you was the fighter, was like, damn, dad, like, you go crazy, or you was always like, whatever, like?
No, I just let him be him. I just let him be him. I mean, he said some wild shit before. I was like, yo, Pop, you might have crossed the line, like. But at the end of the day, I'm letting him be him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Just the way he let me be me, so. And that's what makes us like a good dynamic.
For sure. Obviously, like we said, he fighting Landy Lara. You know what I'm saying? Good fighter. You seen his last fight? He got the stoppage. I was there. What you think about him? Just his game, what he's bringing to the table.
Yeah, I mean, for him to be, looking that good at 40 years old is impressive. Yeah. So I know what I'm definitely up against. I don't really look at the age like that. I just look at a fighter who's a world champion. Right. And that's what I'm preparing for. He be looking good. You know, he's been knocking his opponents out. Even though they're no-name opponents, but still knocking them out. Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, we trained, we did everything necessary, and we're gonna be ready for him.
Tell me about the 2-year break. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a fighter like you, who you've been doing this your whole life, to really take that amount of time off. Like, what was your mind frame? Like, what was you doing? Where was your mind at during that period?
Well, after I fought Benavidez in 2022. I called Lara out, and they was like, yo, the fight could be made. The fight could be made. So I was supposed to fight him in August of 23, and I guess Showtime stopped doing boxing. Yep. Then they was like, no, but matter of fact, we're going to do one more show. It's going to be in December. You, Floyd Mayweather, y'all going to end out the Showtime, like a big. Yeah. And then they wind up just doing like a regular show. So I kind of fell into politics, and that's why I didn't fight in 2023. Okay. is because, you know, my loyalty to Al Heyman and PBC. And basically, I did three training camps that year. So I wasn't completely like just sitting on my ass. Yeah. Last year I did like 3 training camps in and out, sparring southpaw. So I've been getting ready for this fight for like 2 years, believe it or not.
Okay, damn. That's just it. I mean, you mentioned the loyalty to Al. Tell me about that, because Al to me, like he just this mythical ghost type figure that nobody don't see him. We don't really know him.
Right.
What could you say about him? Just your interactions with Al, just as far as y'all, you know.
Oh man, like Al Heyman is the only person I could sit down with and not know what to say. Like his energy is that powerful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's just definitely a caring person. You know, he takes care of his fighters. He makes sure we all good. And he's a man of his word, you know. Al Heyman is not going to tell you something and it never going to happen. So one thing I can say is that he's loyal and his word is everything. He does not lie. He tells you the truth. He say you're going to get that, you're going to get that.
Is he like, you know, as mythical as they make him? Like, you know, the thing, how they make him on the outside is like he just this fucking dude that he just show up and be out. He don't really talk a lot. Like, do you have that experience too, or is like he just regular?
I would say, you know, I'm one of his fighters for like the longest. I think Vernon Forrest was his first fighter, and then he had Birdo, then he had Danny Jacobs, and then I came around that time. Obviously Floyd Mayweather, Adrian Broner. So I was like, when he started signing a lot of fighters is when I was there before all that.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's always been, you know, I look at him like, you know, like a mentor. I would say, you know, like family. I don't hang out with him all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We talk, you know, here and there. He'll check up on me, but you know, it's just it's business at the end of the day. But it's still love and loyalty there.
How different is the business now? Not necessarily with Al specifically, but just the business of boxing. How different is it like now versus like when you started, when you came in the game?
Oh, it's way different. Boxing's way different now. Before it was like, you know, HBO, Showtime, so they picked up the great fighters and they moved them. But now it's a little different. Like, I feel like back more in my era, was like we fought for the glory. We fought for the, and now it's more entertainment. So now it's like, if you got a certain skill level and you got a fan base, they can really move you and make a lot of money off you.
Yeah.
I think that's the only difference in boxing is like, it's not really about how good you are no more, it's about how you can sell.
Just marketing, straight marketing now. Do you think, how you feel about this, like the 4-belt era with belts? Because there's been conversations about like, yo, 4 belts is messing up the sport, there's too many belts and things like that. Like, do you feel like that, or it's kind of?
I mean, 4 belts is cool because you got to think about it. There's a lot of fighters. So in order to build a star, you're a promoter, there's only a certain amount of belts you could fight for.
Yeah.
So if you want to build you know, if you look at it in that way, like building champions and making stars, it makes sense. Because if it was 1 belt, I really don't understand like how it would work. There's too many promoters and stuff.
Right. So
it would have to be one league. It would have to be one league, yeah. So it had to be monopolized by one person. And that's why I don't think that would ever happen in boxing. It would be 1 belt.
What you think about Turkey Al-Sheikh? You know what I mean? He's coming in, he's kind of shaking up the game, you know, throwing bread around and doing whatever he's doing. What do you think just about like, you know, like he said, 1 league? He's mentioned stuff like that before, like, yo, I want to make a league. What do you think about just what he's doing in the sport?
Well, I think his mindset is he wants to just basically take over the boxing world so he can make all the big fights.
Yeah.
So that's good. Anytime you got somebody want to make big fights, and obviously paying fighters good money, it's a good thing, but it's never that simple. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you got people who've been in the boxing world for a long time. So I think that's going to be the hard part. You buying it out, that's going to be hard. But for what he's doing is good. It's good.
No, for sure. I want to talk about, you know, you've been open about like anxiety and depression, shit like that. I know after the, I think that was the Benavidez fight, you know, you was open with it, you know what I'm saying? Talking about all the stuff that you went through. You know, there's a lot of people on the show that watch this that go through similar things. What do you feel like brought it on? Like what causes, like what was the start for you where you first started feeling like anxiety or depression was something that you was dealing with?
You know what's crazy? Like I've been boxing for 24 years and I never thought me crying on TV be the most famous part of my career.
I thought you were gonna be a meme after that.
Yeah. I should have cried 10 years ago. I probably would have been way bigger right now. But you know, it was good because one thing I learned is that, you know, everybody can't be a world champion, right? But everybody can go through depression. And that's one thing I never understood. Like, people really can't connect with you. When you're a winner, people can't connect with you. Because not everybody's a winner. But everybody can feel sad. Everybody can feel depressed. And that's why the world felt, you know, that's why the world connected with me like that. I didn't think it was going to be like that. I was just telling people how I felt. But I never knew I was going through anxiety and depression. I always thought, like, I was focused. Like, I used to always get this feeling, and I never knew that was anxiety and depression. But I've been getting that since I was a kid.
Hold on, what's the feeling though? Like, describe it. What is it? What you mean the feeling?
Basically, like tight chest. You can't really focus. Like, you could be in a room with people and you can't think. Like, those are my, that's what I get. Like, I always feel like butterflies in my stomach, tight chest. I feel like I can't connect with people. Like, I isolate myself. I get real quiet. So those are the things I always went through. And then, like, I used to get it as a kid. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I developed something called alopecia, where it's like you stress too much. Yeah, you get like stress patches. So I used to get that when I was a kid, and then when I got older, right before I fought Thurman, I got it. And then I got it 2 more times, like on my chin.
Damn.
And I didn't know it was that until I went to the doctors, and they said, did you lose your job? Did you feel like, I'm like, no, why? They was like, that's called alopecia. That means like you're under severe stress, where it's like your body gets confused and it attacks your hair. And that's when I realized that I was going through anxiety and depression.
So what did you do to like get over that? Like, what was your way to kind of cope with it?
I had to take a break. Just take a break from boxing, take a break from everything, and just focus on being a regular person.
Do you feel like
I think,
go ahead.
Yeah, it definitely was the pressure. Boxing triggered it too, I ain't gonna lie.
Like, in what way?
Because it's like, it's a lot of pressure. For me, it was do or die. You gonna understand, like, if I ain't do it, I'm still gonna be in the hood somewhere. My whole family gonna be in the hood. So it was a lot of pressure on me just to break my family's curse. You know what I'm saying? Like, generational curses. So for me, it was like I couldn't fail. So I put a lot of pressure on myself to be where I'm at today. So I just say just the pressure of changing everything. Like, family, you know what I'm saying? Generational curses and everything like that. So, and just like fighting, you know what I mean? You fighting at the end of the day. You're not going in there, I'm not thumb wrestling. You feel me? So it's like, this is not for the weak. I tell people this, if you got a weak mind and you got a weak soul, then you probably not made to fight. Because this ain't for the weak. You gotta be mentally a savage. You're always gonna be nervous, but you gotta know how to draw the line.
Do you feel like, I guess, you know, that pressure of like, yo, I gotta become, I gotta be. Do you still feel like that? Because I mean, like I said, we at the compound, you got the barber shop, you got everything here. Do you still have feelings like that? You gotta be, or do you feel like, nah, I made it, like, we good, like, I made it?
Really, I don't have to fight. I don't have to fight if I didn't want to fight. I was off for 2 years. I was living the life.
Comfortable?
I was living a dream. People like, where you fighting again? I don't know. You feel me? But I already knew I wanted to be a 3-division world champion. You know, and that when they told me you want to do it, I said, why not? Shit, this is my dream.
And then you always had that left hook, boy. That left hook been a staple. You know what I'm saying? That's the Danny left. Is that something that you born with, or do you develop that type of like deadly punch like that?
I feel like people are born with different talents. Like, some people are born with strength, some people are born with power, some people are born with speed, some people just more athletic. I was definitely born strong, but you definitely got to learn how to develop it. Like, power punching is really about form and how you turn your punches. Because there's a lot of fighters who could punch, but they won't knock you out because you could probably see it coming, or it's just not like, it's definitely a science behind it. But genetics do help a lot.
You feel like
my mom's left-handed.
Oh, okay.
And my grandpop, so I think that's where I get the strength from my left.
Did you feel like in the amateurs you had that too? Like I had this hook already, or was it more in the pro game when it started?
Nah, in the amateurs, I used to give people 8 counts and all that, but believe it or not, in the amateurs, I was more of a boxer.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
like, I was some power punch type shit.
I was just outboxing people.
Damn.
But I was always physically strong. And then when the headgear came off and the small gloves, I just started hitting people. I'm looking around like, where they at? They on the floor. I'm like, oh shit. Fuck that boxing shit. I'm walking people down. So that's when I became like kind of like a come forward fighter.
Right. Okay. Which fight did you? I'm gonna tell you mine, but was there ever? Because you said, when you came in, your approach was like, "Yo, I'm always the man." Was there ever a fight where you was thinking like, "Damn, this might be, I don't know."
Well, I'm be completely honest with
keep
you.
It a stack, Danny.
I always believed in myself 100%, right? But the fights that I slightly doubted myself is the ones I lost. So I wouldn't even say I lost to them. I would say I lost to myself because the slightest of doubt is you can lose. You cannot doubt yourself at all. When you wake up that morning, your mind should be, I'm going to win this fight, and there should be no other vision. If you could see yourself losing, it's probably because you're going to lose.
Well, what was it about that? I mean, obviously, Keith Thurman was your first loss, which was a close fight. That wasn't like, he just beat you up.
I felt like I won that fight.
Yeah,
I felt like I won the Porter fight, too.
Fight.
The only fight I really felt like I lost was the Spence fight.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's because I should never made those fights close anyway. Those fights, I should never made them close. I should have won. I should have just went in there and did what I did.
Yeah.
Like I said before, but you can't think too much. Sometimes you think too much, and that's what happens. You lose.
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, the Matisse fight, because this is when Matisse was the boogeyman. Like, that was the most scary guy in the division. At that time, I was thinking, like, damn, Damien, I don't know. Yeah. That wasn't never a fight that you was thinking about?
No, I watched his fight versus Humberto Soto.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like two fights before my fight. And he did like 10 rounds with that guy. And I'm watching the fight. I'm like, this guy cannot beat me. I didn't know what people were seeing in him. I guess because he knocked Peterson out like that.
Yeah.
But when I watched him actually do rounds, I knew he can't beat me. I knew he couldn't beat me. And everything about that fight, like when I woke up that day and everything, I knew it was my night. I just felt good.
No.
Yeah.
What about the Spence fight? That's when you say that was the only one you felt like you actually lost, like, from him. What was it about him? Did you feel like it was just his power, his skills? What was it?
It was nothing about him. Because I don't even think he was one of the best fighters I ever fought. Nah.
Who would you say then?
He was a good fighter, but I don't think he was the best fighter I ever fought. I feel like I beat myself. Like, mentally, I wasn't there. I had a terrible training camp. It was COVID. I just didn't feel good. Like, it was just something about that fight where it's like, I felt like I didn't want to do it. Like, I really forced myself every day to wake up and come to the gym. I don't know what it was. I just didn't feel like doing it.
Yeah.
That's how I knew I was great, when I could go in a fight and do 12 rounds with somebody. Yeah, I'm like, yo, I'm kind of all right.
Right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So who was the toughest though? Like, who was the fight that you felt like, all right, this was?
Well, man, I ain't gonna lie. Spence
fight.
Mentally was one of my hardest fights. Mentally, Spence was one of my hardest fights because for some reason I don't know what it was. I just felt like I had to push myself 3 times harder. Maybe I was overthinking it, but physically, Matisse was my hardest fight. Physically.
Okay.
Yeah, he punched hard. He broke my eardrum. I was pissing blood after the fight.
Yeah?
Yeah, so that was probably physically my hardest fight. And then Spence mentally.
Tell me about the recovery process, like, because you've been through wars, bro. Like, you've been through real wars. What's the recovery part like? Like, we always see the training, the lead up. Nobody don't really see the after effect. Like, what's that like? Like, you just had a fight, you beat up, you damaged. Describe that.
Champagne for the pain, baby.
Party up, right? Live it up. Yeah, I feel that.
Champagne for the pain.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yo, you being one of the, you're a veteran now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
young
yes,
OG, really.
Facts.
Young OG. There's a lot of new guys coming up that's, shaking up the game. Is there anybody that got your eye that you like, okay, like, I'm rocking with this young boy?
Yeah, I'm a Philly guy.
Yeah.
So, Boots,
yeah,
definitely my favorite. I like Berlanga. I like Ryan Garcia. I like a lot of the young guys, man. I like Teofimo.
Yeah.
I mean, he not really, they champions, but they still younger than me.
Yeah.
They in their 20s.
Yeah.
So I love watching those guys. I think they bring a lot of excitement.
Well, somebody like Boots, I just seen Boots today actually, but when I interviewed him, he want that Crawford fight. He like, yo, listen, man, that's the fight I want, blah, blah, blah. Crawford is kind of like, he in your space, like the OG that's like, man, I ain't really fighting young guys.
It's like a tough spot.
Yeah, what you think about that? Like, when you an old veteran, you got a couple fights left, you trying to make money, but the young lion is he want that.
Yeah.
What you think about that? Like, who do you give the favor to in that type of matchup?
It's tough. I mean, because the fans do want to see the fight. But at the end of the day, boxing, you got to do what's best for you. When the ball's in your court, you gotta do what's best for you. So I think the best thing he could do is just basically just fight people in his era.
Yeah.
You know, like build your own legacy with the Virgil Ortizes, the Tim Zoos, maybe even Fundora fight one day.
Right.
Fights like that, like guys in his era, his generation, and one day he will be the big guy, you know, the big name, and he gonna have young guys chasing him down.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's full circle.
Right.
You know, there's always gonna be somebody else. Put it that way.
All right, do you count that? Because a lot of fans be saying it's ducking, like, yo, y'all ducking, like, or like how Canelo with Benavidez. They like, yo, man, you ducking. It's kind of the similar
Sometimes
dynamic,
I feel like if you just don't ask for the fight, you'll get it. Because boxing's about egos too. It's like when you Canelo and you just keep asking for a fight, he's like, I'm not gonna fight you. You're doing too much. But it's like sometimes you gotta know how to sneak in there.
Yeah.
And just be nice and quiet, and they overlook you, and that's when you get that fight.
I kind of feel like Berlanga did that, to be honest.
Yeah. So it's like boxing's all about timing. That's what people don't understand. Is like it's not really the moment. It's like when it happens. You know what I mean? So it's like maybe he'll fight you when he wants to fight you.
Right.
After you made $5 more million. After you already rich. Now I'm gonna go fight. Now I'm gonna go fight Benavidez. He's not as hungry as he used to be. So right now he's a hungry lion. Is like too much of a risk.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You a promoter now too, man. I know you threw your first card not too long ago. Your first big card. Tell me about Promoter Danny, man. Like, what's that?
Promoting is definitely a lot more fun. You get to sit back, watch the young guys, go out there and do their thing, give them a platform. The business is definitely way more different, definitely trickier, because when you fight, you just get your purse and you go home.
Right.
With the promotion and stuff, you gotta make sure this is that, this and that. Is like a lot of moving pieces. So
was it hard though, like putting that together?
Yeah, it's definitely a way different experience.
Yeah.
It's definitely a way different experience. It's definitely a way different business than being a fighter.
How do you determine and pick like who's on your roster? How you pick?
You just look for young talent. You know, as a fighter, you know, sometimes people bring people to you. You hear about young fighters and things like that, and you just go for it.
Okay. Let me ask you a couple more boxing questions. You know, one of the big fights, Tank versus Shakur. That's one that everybody always talk about. They want to see. When you looking at that fight and analyzing that, how you see that going?
I like that fight a lot. If I was to pick somebody, it'd probably be Tank. I think Tank is too strong for anybody at 135.
Yeah.
And he's highly skilled. A lot of people just look at the power, but he's well schooled, strong, good defense, good footwork. I think he's the better all-around fighter. Great chin.
Yeah, great chin.
Yeah, so I think it's hard for anybody to beat him at that weight. That's his weight. Every fighter has their weight. I think 135 is his
like
weight.
him. That's
Yeah.
Okay. What about Canelo Benavidez? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you're on the Canelo card, but you know what I'm saying? That's another one everybody want to see. What you think about that one?
I think that's a 50-50 fight. To me, that's 50-50. You know, Benavidez, his greatest strength, I think, at that weight is his size. Like, he's a big 168-pound fighter. Canelo is, remember, he started at 147.
For real.
So for me, seeing him fight at 168 is kind of, that motivated me to go up in weight. I'm like, shit, if he could do it, I can do it.
He went up to 75.
Yeah, I know. So that's a good fight. I can see both of them winning that fight.
Yeah.
I can see both of them winning that fight. I can see Canelo winning, and I can see him winning.
Okay. Tell me about your outside ventures real quick. Like, I know you've been dabbling in music. You be doing different shit in music.
Yeah.
Is that still like a passion? You still trying to do that? Or
Yeah,
what?
I started like my own record label a long time ago, but I never really, like the only people I signed was like my sisters and things like that. So I used to help my friends out, and I used to do some music. It was more of a hobby, to be honest, and I was just messing around with it. But if somebody got talent, then hey, if they could give me a plaque, I'm cool. I need somebody to give me a plaque.
Listen, man, you gotta start signing some Latin.
Yeah, I know. I gotta go to South America.
Yeah, for sure. Lastly, man, you've done this at the highest level, man. You've done everything. You've accomplished so much. What's the goal still? Like, is there more goals, or is
my goal is to win this fight and be a 3-division world champion.
Yeah.
And to me, that's like everything. That's my legacy. I really feel like I'm giving the fans extra right now because I accomplished so much in the sport. And I fought everyone. And that's what boxing's about. It's not really about, you want to win. But a great champion is A great fighter is somebody who fought everybody and never backed down from. That's when people remember you as. They can't be like, oh, he did this, he did that. I want to remember like Duran and those guys. They just fought anybody, any weight, and won. Lost some, but still close. Yeah. Like his losses were close. You know what I'm saying? That's even with Hagler. He beat Leonard. So those are the people I want to be remembered as, like those type of fighters who just fought everybody, won championships, and he just didn't give a shit.
Yeah. Will you rank yourself in that? You know, that era of, right? It's that era of 40, 47, because there was a lot of guys when you was in there. Will you put yourself in terms of like, you know, best of the
To me, 140, I feel like I'm the best 140-pound fighter ever. I don't see nobody ever beat me at 140. That was my weight class. I was too strong. I was dominant. I was beating people on my worst night. And 147, I still feel like I was one of the best 147-pounders. You feel me? I feel like I won 2 out of 3 fights. You know what I'm saying? The Keith Thurman fight would have definitely upped my legacy because I would have unified 2 divisions back to back, like right back to back. Right. No, and so I dared to be great. And then you know, I went up to 154, 1 fight, and now I'm at one middleweight going for another championship. So,
all right, so let's say if you win this. Let's say if you win, right?
This is my 11th world title appearance.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's
so
kind of crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, if you look at the last 12 years, what I've done in boxing is kind of crazy. You know, people overlook it because I don't brag about it.
Yeah, you don't be talking about stuff. We need Hazel come over and talk some more shit.
I really don't brag. I just let my stats know. People people question like, oh, Danny should do this. Should Danny be in the Hall of Fame? If you know about boxing, you know about, and you look at my resume, if you look at stats and numbers, that's why I don't brag. Because if you look on paper what I've done, then it speaks for itself. But if you were just a fan, you going what other people say, oh, he this, he's that, you just probably don't know.
Right. Hold up. So let's say if you win this fight, right? 3-division world champion. Is there more, or is it like when's the time where you know, all right, I'm done, like I'm good?
I'm good right now, but this is I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Money good.
You're talking about legacy.
Mentally good.
Like boxing.
Because there's certain people I feel like they stayed in past the time where it's like, you know what I'm saying?
I don't want to ruin that's one thing I don't want to do is ruin my legacy.
Yeah.
Because you should. I mean, they was probably messed up for money. That's why they kept doing it.
Yeah.
But for me to win this world middleweight title would be amazing for me. And, you know, I could just sit back and see what I want to do next. And if there's a fight out there that makes a lot of sense, I'll do one more. But if not, then I just got to think about what I want to do.
Are you cool with retiring? Is that cool in your mind? Like, I'm cool hanging it up?
They say once a fighter thinks about retiring, he's retired. So I'm not going to say I'm cool with retiring, but walking off as a champion will mean a lot to me.
That's the Kobe way. He dropped 60 and left. You got to do it like that.
Right.
I don't want to see, like, one of my favorite fights, Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see him fight no more, man.
So I mean,
I don't want to see. I'm just saying, I don't want to see you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was go out on top.
All money, not good money. You feel me? So it was like, for somebody to pay me millions of dollars to feed me to somebody, I'm not doing that. Because I ain't dumb.
Right.
You feel me? I've been a lot of things. I've never been an idiot.
They gonna be like, yo, fight Boots, Danny, fight Boots.
I'm like, nah, I'm cool, man. Let Boots go beat somebody else up. That's my guy.
Yeah, for sure. Yo, listen, man, Danny, I appreciate you, man. Good luck. September 12th, is it? 12th?
14th.
September 14th. My man, Danny Swift Garcia, we out of here.